We must take back the streets. It doesn't matter whether or not they were deprived as a youth. It doesn't matter whether or not they're the victims of society. They must be taken off the street. Tens of thousands of them, born out of wedlock, without parents, without supervision, without any structure, without any conscience developing, because they literally have not been socialized. They literally have not had an opportunity. We should focus on them now. They will, or a portion of them will, become the predators 15 years from now. They are beyond the pale, many of those people. Beyond the pale. And it's a sad commentary on society. We have no choice but to take them out of society. Biden crime bill, the Biden crime bill.
The Biden crime bill.
Hell, we've had crime bills coming out our ears. Every major crime bill since 1976, every minor crime bill has had the name of the Democratic senator from the state of Delaware, Joe Biden. You got a gun, you commit a felony, 10 years. We already have it 5 years. Minimum mandatory. Judge can't say, you know, you had it in your pocket, you never intended to use it, we're only going to give you 1 year. Judge has to say 5 years.
That 1994 crime bill, it did contribute to mass incarceration in our country.
Are you ashamed of that bill?
Not at all. In the fact, I drafted the bill, as you remember.
I know that.
Clinton crime law that disproportionately harmed the African American community. We will have done something that hasn't been done in many, many years. And it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to do. This is such an incredible moment, what we've just done. Criminal justice reform.
Hey, Donald Trump is your president, and if you like it or not, keep the energy you had with Barack. Cause you know this Trump train don't stop. Tell Beto to please come try to take my...
Alice was given a life sentence. Spent about 22 years for something that today a lot of people wouldn't even be going to jail for. How many people are like you or your circumstance where they were given this massive sentence, and they're good people, great people, and she has been just so outstanding, and I'm so proud of you, and we're giving Alice a full pardon. I just told her. In 1996, at the age of 30, Matthew was sentenced to 35 years for selling drugs. Now Matthew is the very first person to be released from prison under the First Step Act. Welcome home.
How do you feel about President Trump?
I'm very honored and grateful that he was, signed the First Step Act.
On February 20th of this year, he was the guest speaker at the Hope for Prisoners graduation. He stayed much longer than scheduled to hand out diplomas.
Praise God, I am filled with hope. A proud American citizen who has been given a second chance. My hope for America is that formerly incarcerated people will be afforded the opportunity to take advantage of the fact that we live in a nation of second chances.
So now I'd like to invite John's wife, Jamie, to join us as I grant John, I'm not sure you know this, a full pardon. Okay. I think I'll give it to Jamie. What do you think? Fantastic. Thank you.
They are in jail, away from my mother, your husband, our family.
December 18th, a great day for the Constitution of the United States. A sad one for America that the president's reckless activities necessitated us, our having to introduce articles of impeachment.
You wanna impeach him? I guess that's what you do when you can't beat him. That need to dead that. And I'm coming through your hood in my red hat. And they say they looking for me, I say where? Cause it seem like they out high like some scared cats. You can tell the deep state that I said that. Cannons always on my shirt. They gonna be triggered when I wear that.
Do you hate Americans with black skin color?
Absolutely not. I actually love Americans with black skin color so much that I'm willing to fall on the sword 1,000 times for them to wake up and realize that we are being lied to, abused, and used by the Democrat Party. I support the president because he's done a tremendous job in helping the black community, despite all of the rhetoric from the media and leftists, which do not want him to be successful.
Tell me a little bit about how the president has helped the black community, if you would, please.
Well, he's lowered the black unemployment rate. It's the lowest it's ever been in the history. He's getting us off of our feet. We see, I believe the last number I checked was 3.5 million people are off of food stamps, something that the Black Caucus sat down and didn't applaud. Neither did any of the Democrats applaud.
African American poverty has declined to the lowest rate ever recorded.
Because they want a system where blacks are dependent on the government. They are people that put in place the policies that broke down the black family. And the biggest problem that's facing our community is father absence. In every room that I've been in with the president, he talks about real issues, and he doesn't pander to us. He doesn't do Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's southern drawl accent and speaking to us like we're slaves.
They're going to put you all back in chains.
He asks us important questions, and the most important question he could have asked was, Black America, what do you have to lose? Because we were already losing under Democrat leadership.
And it's always on my shirt. They gon' be triggered when I wear that. I exposed all the fakes, now who next? Bryson do not tolerate no disrespect. We went to the White House, they said we got to check, but this truth might make you upset.
President, I want to come to you and talk to you about inequality in schools and race. In a conversation about how to deal with segregation in schools back in 1975, you told a reporter, I don't feel responsible for the sins of my father and grandfather. I feel responsible for what the situation is today, for the sins of my own generation, and I'll be damned if I feel responsible to pay for what happened 300 years ago.
Do you agree today that you were wrong to oppose busing in America then?
No.
Do you agree?
I did not oppose busing in America.
We keep talking about this thing as being north versus south. That's not the issue. It is rural versus urban. And most of the busing that's taken place to date has taken place in rural areas, whether it's be administratively ordered or court ordered. Now we're moving into applying the same standards to urban areas. And it is a standard that doesn't make sense. And I happen to think that the one way to ensure that you set the civil rights movement in America further back is to continue to push busing.
All the fakes, now who next? Bryson do not tolerate no disrespect. We went to the White House, they said we got to check, but this truth might make you upset. Donald Trump is your president, if you like it or not. Keep that energy you had with Barack, cause you know this Trump train don't stop. Tell Beto to please come try to take my...
You got the first sort of mainstream African American who is articulate and bright and clean and a nice looking guy. I mean, that's a storybook, man.
We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Yes, and by the way, what you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community with incredibly different attitudes about different things. If you notice, I have more people supporting me in the black community that have announced for me because they know me. They know who I am. If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black.
The white liberal differs from the white conservative only in one way. The liberal is more deceitful, more hypocritical than the conservative. Both want power, but the white liberal is the one who has perfected the art of posing as the Negro's friend and benefactor. And by winning the friendship and support of the Negro, the white liberal is able to use the Negro as a pawn or a weapon in this political football game that is constantly raging between the white liberals and the white conservatives.
And Madam President, we have predators on our streets.
They are often the kinds of kids that are called super predators. No conscience, no empathy.
Look how much African American communities have suffered under Democratic control. I'm asking for the vote of every single African American citizen in this country. To those I say the following: what do you have to lose?
Were you a Trump supporter from day one?
Not at all.
Not at all. I'm a convert. I believe everything the media told me. I believed, I drank the Kool-Aid. I like to know why I don't like someone. Started doing my research, and I was like, okay, well, I agree with that he said. I like that what he said. I like that Paul said it. I was told that he's a racist, but let me get some evidence.
When people do their own research, they come around and support him.
Every time. I was duped by their lies. And you look at the media now, all they do is vilify the man. I mean, the man, he can walk on water, and they will protest him still. The media do everything in their power, everything, to make sure that the American people know that he's nothing but Hitler. And it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous narrative, and I'm sick of it. If we want to make America great again, if we want to relive MAGA, you got to vote for Trump. It's that simple. He will make America great again.
But if I like Donald Trump and I want to vote for him, I'm going to do it. So what? What are you going to do?
You ain't black.
And I'm coming through your hood in my red hat. And they say they looking for me, I say where? Cause it seems like they all high like some